just started the episode, Ryan. You're not supposed to make sound. Now I have to edit this. You know how long this is going to take to edit this episode? At least 2 minutes.
Oh, we always have this joke about how old people are always like mid-speaking, like, are you okay?
They just have weird grumble sounds.
Just like weird old cough.
Old cough. Welcome everybody to the Urban Decay Podcast. Episode 18.
I don't know if you're going to edit that. I kind of hope you don't. I kind of hope that's all in it.
Well, now it has to be, because I'm not going to edit this part out. And if I edit that part out, then they're not going to know what I was talking about. Or, I mean, if I edit the other part out. Welcome to the show, everyone. We're really excited to be here today. Especially Ryan. He's just is so excited. We are also excited because we might be getting help this episode. And I'm going to do a recap. Are you ready?
Getting help? Is he talking about sponsorship?
No.
That's a hard
Do we
no.
have a guest speaker?
Financial help?
He's like, our guest star today is...
I meant our characters in-game are going to be getting help at the hospital from Jimmy Jim and from Alice.
Does he own Jimmy's?
2 people who we really are growing to learn to love.
The James. Jimmy from
Jimmy?
Jimmy's?
Jimmy from Jimmy A&A?
Is that it?
Presumably.
You mean the shawarma place in Calgary,
He's a
Alberta?
hero.
No, actually no.
I would have lost my mind if we met him.
Does that already know this guy worked at the Sheldon Humor?
We do. I would have died for Jimmy.
He was
from
moonlighting
Jimmy's
though. His like day job is making shawarmas.
Oh, making the best
Man, that's what we need in the zombie apocalypse.
We need more shawarma. I agree. We didn't even go once for shawarma. This whole zombie
To
apocalypse.
be fair, it was in the middle of a pandemic, so...
The parsley doesn't keep
of
any
meat
better
in
than
the streets.
cilantro either.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's true. Anyways, last episode, we basically did that. We finished off Bone Claw. I think actually we finished off Bone Claw the episode previous to this.
yeah.
To the last one.
It was the...
It was last one.
It might have been.
Willie
You're right.
Will was
yeah,
racing down the
that's
street.
true. You're
William
right.
saves the day.
William
How dare
William. And then we...
And nobody knows any better.
And then we went to the hospital. Oh, well, we saved Evie. That was the big thing.
That was kind of a big thing.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was the big one last episode. And then we went to the hospital. We met Alice and Jimmy. And then they allowed us to enter into their abode. To the hospital.
Because we don't know what Alice did before the zombie...
Did she work at Jimmy's?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe Alice was running Jimmy's. And then she met this guy named Jimmy, and they just happened to team up during the zombie apocalypse.
She's like, I know Jimmy.
And he's
It's
like,
a sign.
he's like, great, okay, whatever. She's like, you don't understand.
Like the movie? Signs?
I like how we're like role playing through
Yeah.
their backstory.
Well, yeah, basically. Shane's just going off. Keep going.
No, it's good.
What is
what
it- what is
happened?
it-
Wait, are we recording right
We're
now?
recording. Yeah, we are currently recording.
Dearest fans.
Yeah, I apologize for the tangents and the
Why?
the willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly.
But anyways, well, here we are. Hello.
Welcome to tonight's episode.
Welcome back.
Where specifically did we end off last time?
We were literally walking with them into the
hospital.
hospital, and Alice was walking back. Like, they're both in front of us.
Yeah.
Alice was walking backwards with a shotgun.
With the shotgun,
A sawed-off shotgun.
Where is Top Dad?
Or
Where is Evie?
William is carrying Top Dad like nothing.
Like a baby.
Superhuman.
It's
Yeah.
like a feather in
Yeah.
his palm.
Like he's cool.
And they clocked it. I remember that.
Yeah, they realized that
They were like-
something's up with that boy. Although they didn't say anything, and technically we didn't roll high enough to intuit that, so we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But we made sure to say that Evie's with us, and also I'm like carrying Charlie, I guess, because I'm not leaving him out there. So that's all happening.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys emerge into the front of the Sheldon Schumer Center. The main floor is much the same as when you saw it before. It's pretty vacant. All the doors are closed and locked. And Jimmy leads you guys towards the stairwell. The door's still propped open. It's quiet. It's like peaceful. It feels already like such a break from the last few days. And not just because it's quiet in there, but also because there's another human presence, and your party's bigger now than it's ever been at this point. With William and Alice and Jimmy and Evie, it's like there's all these people, and even though Top Dad's not doing well, he's there too, and so the sense of community, in spite of the fact that you already don't know anything about Jimmy and Alice, and even though Alice has a shotgun pointed at you, the just other human contact has a solace with it, like brings a calm with it that is so rewarding and so just familiar. Nevertheless, Alice, it's pretty obvious that Alice is on edge. Jimmy maybe a little less so. He's being pretty casual. He sort of just leads you towards the stairwell, and you guys go up to the top floor. You remember having been up there before, that the area is not particularly clean. There's some smells, probably mostly emanating from the empty bottles in the corner, from months of them just hanging up in there. Sorry, the bottles. I'm getting weird looks from John. There was.
I was like,
if you remember from the first time you stopped there, that they had a diminishing stash of alcoholic beverages.
Right.
And
Kombucha.
So, yeah, kombucha exclusively.
Just kidding. This is 2017. Kombucha wasn't a thing yet, really.
It was just starting. It was getting this.
Is there SCOBY? Is that what it's called? Just like this thick now?
That's right.
Ew.
Nice.
So,
La Croix.
yeah, so there's some smells, but it's obvious that they've been set up there for a while. Like, they look really comfortable, and for how long they've been there, it seems like they still have like a good amount of supplies. It doesn't seem like they've been fraught with the same challenges of having to move place to place quite the same as you guys have, which is curious because they're a little closer to the ground and therefore more detectable than you guys were in your last, back when you were in Suncore Tower. But anyways, you get up to the top floor. Jimmy throws his stuff down in a like a pile next to like some cots or like their setup, and he turns around and he says, "So, what's your guys' plan?"
Well, first I need to get this taken care of. I want to make sure that I'm not gonna,
You got it stitched up last time, right? Like
I did, but I was told not to walk.
You got stitched up, but no, he got.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, that's right.
I wasn't able to stitch myself up
He
immediately
barely
after.
he was like bare minimum iodine. That's all.
Yeah. And at this point too, you notice that like Alice seems the most wary of you and William.
Should we be getting you like an air boot or something like that? Like I don't know.
Good question.
Paramedic
As a medical
stuff is.
professional, what would I know, Brandon?
Make a roll.
I'm good.
I'll tell you exactly what you
Make a
do.
roll.
Medical professional roll. Here we go. Where is it? Paramedic?
This is the time you have to roll low, I think, for the.
Yeah,
just this once. 32. That is
That's a hit.
a happy hit.
All right, so so you know that like probably the boot wouldn't really do a lot for you, but you want basically what you want is like increased blood flow to the area, so you don't want anything that's going to restrict that on your leg. But it's also pretty tender, so you would also know that like having something like a boot, I don't know, something that has that like hard exoskeleton exterior for your leg, but that still allows it to breathe, right? Mm-hmm. Like, so if you know the boots, they have like the little cutouts in them. Like if you had something like that for your leg that could shield the most delicate parts of it, it would probably be a little bit less debilitating, particularly once you get out into the world again and you're trying to run around or getting attacked or...
Yeah.
Crutch around.
Well, luckily you have the Trondheim Viking by Paul Chen that you can just cut a little hole out for it.
That's so true.
Just wrap it around your leg. Easy.
It's like
Use
poking
the
a hole in
Trondheim
your...
Viking as a brace.
Exactly. Like a splint.
I love that. It's a good idea.
Do we have a plan?
So is it just you two here?
Alice pulls up a chair and sits down in the corner. Shotgun still pointed at, sort of towards the group. And she says, it's just been us so far. It's getting a little harder to maintain that, though. Downtown's been busy, as you guys have seen.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully after what we just did, things might quiet down a bit. We were able to take out one of these large monstrosities. There's lots other types out there, I'm sure, but...
The biggest one we've seen.
Definitely the biggest one we've seen.
Well, we saw that conglomerate one once. Remember that one?
Didn't we take care of that one?
We did, but we saw it.
That was also big. Yeah. I think they're...
You can see that you've piqued Jimmy's interest. The what? What do you mean?
Let's
like bigger than the
this.
one that you just saw?
Yes.
It's different.
Different big, though.
It was, so... The MSC back in the day was taking garbage trucks around towns to pick up bodies and tossing them in. It seems like
He stops you right there. He's like, "How do you know about the MSC?"
What do you mean?
Well, were they just operating in the open? They weren't downtown.
Yeah, they were operating.
They
in the
were
open.
operating all around
They
Calgary.
were going around killing anybody they thought might be infected.
He turns to Alex and says, "Go boot up the computer."
Well,
do you have like internet and crap right now?
We don't have internet, but we have a hard line to the city's mainframe.
Cool.
All the city buildings are
That makes
hardwired
sense.
on a single network, so
The intranet.
That's true.
That's actually what it's called.
I know.
Yeah.
The power I could have.
Yeah.
that too.
Get your hacky little fingers
If
in
they'll
there.
let me.
you see sort of a silent conversation happen between Alice and Jimmy, where it seems pretty obvious to you that she's not super happy to put down the shotgun and move to like a different location, but he sort of gives her like the nod and urge to just go and do the thing, and that he's going to be fine. She puts down the shotgun next to Jimmy and then steps out of the room for a second.
Can I make a point that I am also going to be wary of William at this time?
Yep, totally.
So you had mentioned something last episode saying that his strength is like doubling at like an exponential rate or something. Yeah. So I'm just going to clock
Just
that in the
chop
old,
that away.
Is he
storage
looking normal?
cabinet.
He looks fine. Yeah, he's not sweaty or...
Yeah, it's totally fine. He's just a
What about
superhero
his
now.
eyes?
Do you want to go check?
I'll go talk to Will. Yeah, I'll go talk to Will for a bit.
Okay.
But you can continue with their stuff.
Yeah,
while I do.
Sure, yeah. So,
We were just doing a ton of research back in the day, like especially early on. I'm a software developer, so I built a bunch of like scraping tools just to look for keywords around Calgary and around anyone that seemed to be in any position of power.
you're a software developer?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Was, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a lot of those skills don't come that in handy anymore.
I mean, surprisingly handy, but you're right.
How'd you all find each other?
We were friends, at least the three of us were in the beginning.
Yeah. And we just luckily were all kind of in the same area at the same time early on.
And the rest of us we kind of picked up along the way.
So you all knew each other before the outbreak, or just...
Well,
Us three, we met
Just the
William
three.
pretty recently. Evie, we met,
Shortly after the outbreak.
2 months ago? How
And
long?
Keith too.
yeah. Keith
was that his
a
name?
few
He
weeks
points
after.
at Top Dead.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so you go up to William. He's
Will.
just chilling next to Top Dad. He's paying attention. He's like listening to Jimmy. And so is Evie. Like Evie's still,
Okay.
you know,
Recovering.
she's with it. She's good, but like you can tell that she's still a little bit shell shocked. She's got a bit of the 40-mile stare going, but not in the debilitated, incapacitated way that she had been previously. As you come up to William, he just kind of leans towards you and in a whisper is like, "What's up?"
Hey, just checking in. I just, how are you feeling? Just want to make sure that you're okay. I mean, you went through a pretty crazy crash, if you don't remember, about 25 minutes ago.
It's like, yeah, I feel great.
You feel
Yeah.
okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hit yourself anywhere? You need any medical attention?
I don't think so. No, I mean, like, yeah, and this is all kind of whisper. He's trying not to interrupt Jimmy,
Right.
but he's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I remember when I hit the thing in the car. Like, I remember running into the steering wheel with my chest, but like, I don't feel. I had my seatbelt on. It's some pressure, right? So I don't know, but like, I don't know. I don't think I cracked a rib or anything.
Okay, we're gonna have to like check. I'm so like we have an idea of what they were giving you when you were captured. Not to bring up old memories or anything, but we're gonna have to really monitor you and see, because like this could go one of two ways. You could keep evolving or whatever and turn into something that's really scary, or maybe you're just gonna be fine, you know? And so I'm hoping it's the latter. But in the meantime, for these new people we just are with, I think it's best if we maybe just keep it on the DL for now. I think they might be able to help, but I want to make sure we present it to them at the right time so they're not startled or, worried about anything, right? Does that make sense?
He shrugs. He's like, "Look, I'll follow your lead, man. It's cool. Don't worry about it." I'm not going to make you roll. You said that you wanted to go over there and kind of check out his eyes and make sure there wasn't anything that you didn't notice. And like, I'm not going to make you roll because you're right up in his grill and you know what colors are. So his eyes are not red. They're not bloodshot. There's nothing weird about it. The veins in his face or in his eyes. There's none of the symptoms that you would have seen in like previous bite victims. So going back to like the first season, like if you remember Brennan, and like he was like sweating a lot, and he had like a high fever, and like he was groggy, and like couldn't move, and wasn't very responsive, and and like those things got out of control. None of that. Like he seems just totally fine.
So weird. Okay.
So there's like
It's kinda cool,
totally nothing going on there.
Huh. Okay.
Okay. So Jimmy's over there talking to Shane and Ryan about just how you guys all got kind of linked up, and Alice comes back into the room, and she just looks at Jimmy, shrugs her shoulders, and says, "Computer's booted up. Do you want to go in there, or what do you think?" And he says, "Yeah, let's all go in there. Actually, why don't you guys stay with, what did you say his name was? Keith?
Yeah.
Why don't you guys stay with Keith?" He points at William and Evie. I think everyone can see that Evie kind of just needs a break. Like, that's pretty obvious to Alice and Jimmy as much as it is anybody else. So he says that. He looks at Evie and says, "You okay with that?" And she looks at him and he's like, "Yeah." And Alice and Jimmy ushers you guys into the other room.
I think one of us needs to stay with Evie.
I would do it, but I feel like...
Yeah, here, why don't Ryan, like, you got any crushes or anything like that, Ryan? I'll come with you, I think maybe.
Huh? So I'll stay behind?
Are you okay with that?
I'm fine with that.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
You guys go on ahead. I'm not much of a computer guy anyways. I'm more of a dog guy.
He's an old man, so...
Jimmy just shrugs. Suit yourself. It's fine. So Ryan and Shane, you guys go into the other room with Alice and Jimmy. You can see that, like, this room probably used to be sort of an administrative office. Sure. The furniture has been cleared out. Like, there's no bookshelves or anything in there. They've kind of made some space with some things. And there's, like, not just one computer in there. So
cool.
There's actually, like, a weird range of equipment that, like, seems pretty nonsensical to you, because they've got, like, you know, like a pretty normal looking, like, Windows 10 computer tower, and like some like 2 flat screen monitors, 1 horizontal, 1 vertical, and then they also have like 3 CRT monitors hooked up to like legacy equipment that looks like it's probably like 386,
Classic.
486, like early Pentium days maybe.
Classic.
Right? It's like pretty old school.
Whoa, computers.
And it looks, the weird thing to you is that it all kind of looks like it's all hooked up to the same kind of central hub. So you can see the router like plugged into the wall, and everything has a cord running from the router into like each separate tower. So the computer that she's turned on isn't just one computer, it's like 4 computers. It's the one sort of more contemporary machine, and then these 3 old machines.
Got it.
We could have a sick LAN party, though.
you could play so
Honestly,
much Warcraft 1.
That's how the series ends.
Honestly, Diablo.
We have a sick LAN party at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
We all play happily.
Ryan is getting fear of like... It's just like old legacy fear of like prior days. Of like, what's on these laptops that they can't get... Like, what's on these computers that they can't get rid of them at
the Schumer.
What's Alberta Health Services? That's what's AHS. That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Like, what nonsense is on there? Because I worked these projects before. They'd get rid of this if they could.
Okay, so obviously they dug it up from
until you try.
somewhere. So here's what's interesting though. So the Windows, well, I guess that's all interesting, hopefully. But the Windows 10 has like some windows open. It has.
That's why it's named that.
It looks like it looks like it has just some of the same sort of files and folders that you had seen before on the other
City one.
Yeah, the other City one. It's a little bit different. It doesn't look like it's. You don't see anything at first glance that relates to, if you remember, like Injection X, like any of the experiments with William and our buddy Jim. What's his Jacobson? Joel Jacobson. None of that at a glance seems like it's familiar or related to that.
Do they have like active searches on? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, were they doing something on here that I could just see what they were researching?
No.
Okay.
And the reason for that is that she just booted up the computer. So it's obvious to you that they're tech savvy enough that they had probably been doing some level of research.
Yeah.
But it's not obvious to you what that would have been.
You had mentioned. Sorry, this was before pizza,
Sure.
so Ryan's brain is
Mm-hmm.
catching back up.
Pizza time.
Pre-pizza. 1 year
Wait,
PP.
I can't remember.
You were asking about how we knew about the Mayor's Security Council.
Yeah.
What do you know about them?
Well, we know that they're essentially they're a branch of the largest terrorist organization to ever exist.
Oh,
Cool.
See, that's new to us.
That doesn't surprise me.
But they're a small branch. They're not like they're a sprig of the main branch, but basically every major city on planet Earth has something has like an equivalency to that. And the Mayor's Security Council is Calgary's. So we don't know exactly how or when they started as an organization. We don't know how or when they infiltrated the city of Calgary and started getting into like different levels of government here. We have no idea on those specifics, but what we do know, and what we found out really early in kind of the fallout of the pandemic was that they have they have operations here in Calgary. Their ultimate goals and purposes, though mystery to us, necessarily involve a wide-scale human destruction. We believe that the terrorist organization from whence they sprung is directly responsible for the outbreak of the virus. We don't, or whatever it is that's causing all this mayhem. So we don't know. There's a lot of things that we don't know, but we do know that they're operating in the city still, and we know
Even
that
now?
they have. Yeah, absolutely. So we have.
Sorry, you finish your thought.
We have a direct link to all the city computers, and so all the Mayor's Security Council stuff was basically running on that mainframe, and right now it's the only widespread mainframe that's still accessible through the city, because the internet, as you I'm sure are aware, is down. It doesn't matter if you have cell services, it doesn't matter if you have a GPS phone.
Yeah.
There's so many avenues of information that you can't access anymore.
Do you know where they're operating from at all, somehow?
That's what we're trying to figure out. This is where Alice pipes in.
We were under the impression that all of them were dead. There wasn't even like one single scientist left that could like provide us with more information.
Alice chimes in. She says, well, we know that they're still operating in the city. We know, like that their main headquarters is more or less wiped out. But we can track. I've been able to set up this system, and she clickety clacks on the Pentium computer and pulls up a window, and she says, I've installed this system that tracks and monitors activity on other computers on the network. Ooh. And so she pulls up the window. You recognize it immediately. Like you can see it's basically just like primitive versions of like Teams software.
Gross.
It's super bad. Like there's nothing super advanced about it either, right? Like you just hadn't done it.
Still so impressed.
Yeah.
Do you happen to know the name of the organization that the MSC sprung from?
No, we don't. It's everything is encrypted, and so the messages that are incoming aren't coming in with a letterhead or anything. And we also don't know how they track the sources of the information that they're getting.
Another question for Brandon this time, not for players. We have looked at a whole bunch of nonsense. Would there have been anything on letterheads or stuff that I've seen where I'd be like, there was this, blah, blah, blah.
That said, like, Black Mass Incorporated, death and destruction to all mankind.
Sorry. Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
No, nothing like that.
Dang it.
Because I remember,
it was a good try.
I remember there was like U of C professors and stuff that were involved with this MSC research.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a lot of
nothing else on the letterhead there.
No,
cool.
It was all just sort of like under whatever governing body they reported to directly would have been their masthead. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, she says we don't really know anything beyond like outside of our little sphere of Calgary. We don't even know what's been happening in Edmonton and how directly it relates to what's been happening here. But what we know here is, first of all, that there have been plans that are, at least for the time being, on some kind of, we don't know if they're on pause exactly. There's plans to blow up the city entirely.
I do know about that.
That to attract as many of what's left of humanity to the downtown core and then detonate it. Wait, how do you know about that?
This bomb
We've seen
under
it.
City Hall.
They both perk up, eyes wide, and like you can see the gasps like emanating from their mouths as though it were a cartoon. Yeah.
Whoa.
She's like, you know where the bomb is?
Yeah.
We disarmed it, didn't we?
No, we didn't. We decided that it was not a good idea.
We what?
You really wanted to, though, to be fair. You were like, I'll do it. You guys leave town. I'll disarm it.
I'm mad about it still.
Yeah.
We decided against it because we were
rejuvenated in
pretty,
your anger.
sure it was gonna blow up if we tried that.
I'll do it again.
Wait, what?
It's like, that's
didn't
why
do it yet.
we're still here.
Yeah.
We've been trying to find it.
It's the basement of City Hall. Big old boy.
We seen it.
They look at each other like, we didn't even look there.
I mean, to be fair, City Hall was a friggin' nightmare up
was
until very
Pretty
recently.
hot spot.
Maybe still is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Alice comes back in. She says, okay, so the activity that we've seen
Tell me.
on the network is there's at least one spot in the downtown core. We know just because the ping is short enough that it's got to be close.
Sure.
And then the other one, we think we've sort of triangulated that it's somewhere in the university. We don't know where. Obviously, it's not the Foothills campus. If you know anything about what went on there,
We were also there.
but we think that there's a station that's been accessed multiple times in the last week and a half that we think is at the university.
Okay.
Wow.
Could I take a look at the is this stuff you've written? Like this, how are you doing all this? Like, are they using like a pre-made software, or did they write something to do this?
Oh yeah, she says no. Yeah, I wrote all this.
Do you mind if I take a peek at it?
Yeah, for sure. She pulls it up in whatever program that would be.
It's called coding.
Could I,
Coding program.
Coding.com.
Could I
Coding.exe.
Could I? That's right. Could I evaluate just like if I can think of any ways to improve it? Just looking at it.
Make a roll.
Cool. What would that be? Computer programming?
Yeah. That makes sense to me.
Guess what? That's a success.
Really? That was a high
I got
roll.
an 89 in
Wow.
computer programming.
You
so
can program anything you want.
Yeah.
He's a
that's my
computer programmer.
second highest stat. My highest is a 98.
Whoa.
Okay.
It's just
Computer
stupid.
usage, right?
So,
Yeah.
so you sort of jump in there right away and start clickety-clacking away, and you've got a fast typing speed. You know what you're about. And you can see, again, the lump in her throat, rise immediately. My code!
I get it, 100%.
You don't care. You're not interested in that.
Amateur.
It's the weird fit.
Execute, file save as, whatever you got to do, and then you reboot the program. And now you've been able to essentially actually make one more roll on this.
I would love to.
You were able to identify what needed to be done. Now let's see if you did it right.
That's a 6. Okay, good. That's a
yeah.
success.
That's a big
I thought
success.
that was a 9 for a minute.
No, that's great.
64.
Okay, so not only were you able to sort of suss out some improvements that can be made, you did it pretty smoothly, and you were able to incorporate essentially just a rudimentary mapping system.
Cool.
So
Add a
now
function.
you're not just tracking ping rates to try to determine the distance between you and another terminal. Now you're able to figure out pretty directly where the pings would be coming from.
Oh, wow.
So
Cool.
So you execute save as file, whatever, reopen the program, reboot the program,
Sure.
and when you reboot it up, then it has this little window of a cute little map, and you watch her go, holy crap! You did that in 30 seconds, and you're like, yeah, an NBD.
I just downloaded the library.
He wanted the map quest in the Pentium. That's what you did.
So meanwhile, there's actually a series of dots that are color coded to the time frame in which certain terminals have been accessed. So, to be clear, all that information was somewhere in her program already. It just hadn't been. There wasn't a way to visualize
I
it.
also would say the fact that I was able to go in there in 30 seconds and fix that, the code must have been very good.
She ain't not bad.
She good.
She knows what she's about.
She
Yeah.
ain't-
Because if it was bad, I would have been like,
She
delete.
ain't not bad.
Restart.
She ain't not bad.
So
She
she's good.
She
She's
is
good,
ain't
yeah.
not bad. I know.
She ain't not bad.
She is ain't not bad.
She's ain't not bad.
So so you've confirmed exactly what they suspected. Yeah, there's absolutely a terminal that's being accessed
But
in the downtown
where?
core, and it's in City Hall.
I knew it. I knew
So-
they were back. They were back.
Wait, what?
There for
knew
sure.
that was- I'm
100%.
not there.
There's a bunch of other terminals on that in that same vicinity that you can see haven't been accessed for quite some time. For I guess it's been probably
It's been a few months, so.
a few months. Yeah.
Also,
So you can see those ones kind of blacked out, but that they're still, it's terminal here, terminal here, terminal here. So it's the public library has a bunch of terminals, the city hall has a bunch of terminals, and of course city hall has 2 buildings now. There's a lot going on downtown, but the hotspot is for sure city hall.
Okay.
The other hotspot, the other active terminal is is on the university campus, and
What building?
what building?
Whose office? I want names, Brandon.
Well, it's not the art building.
I have a series
Pull
of
up my
questions as well.
Yeah,
When you're ready.
hit me.
Come in. It's Wesley, baby boy. Everybody, I present to you my son.
Wesley, make a sound for them.
Wesley, give a good hiccup into the mic. I'm going to put you right over top.
Just gonna drool right on it. It's my boy.
Everyone listen.
There we go. A sound.
I'll have to up it in post, but I'm sure you'll hear his little hiccup. Are you going to play zombies with us, Wesley?
We're gonna go to bed.
Weslly rolled his first die earlier,
Can
everyone.
you hold him just
It was
while I
natural
get the
one.
bath ready?
Yeah, you go for it.
Thank you.
Did we pause just now?
No,
or are
we're still live.
rock and roll. Okay, Ryan.
Okay. Number one. I'm trying to go in order of like easiness. Number one, you had said you were sticking around until you found this bomb.
Yeah.
How did you know about it? Where are you gonna go?
'Cause
why is that your responsibility? What like? I'm trying to figure you out.
They're heroes, Ryan. Why are you heroes?
But actually, why?
Yeah.
Jimmy shrugs. He's like, look, man, this is my city. This is my home. I'm not going to let people walk in and destroy it. And the reality is, everything's gone to hell. There's not anything left.
Yeah.
But what is left is infrastructure and information. And if an atomic bomb goes off in the city center of every major city on planet Earth, or even just in North America, think of the legacy of human achievement
Gone.
that will be lost.
Totally.
So I can't control what's happening in London or New York or
In
LA,
Calgary.
but I'm in Calgary, and there's information here that can be used to literally and truly rebuild society.
Cool.
And
I like that.
we have to do it. It's the only way, because we can't go back to how things were, but we can start from where we're at. And I'd rather not get set back to the Stone Age. Alice chimes in too. She's like, "Isn't that what you guys would do? What are you here for?"
I have been fighting to disarm that bomb for a while now. I'll have you know.
I'm not there, so I don't have to comment at all. Shane.
Yeah, okay, all right, sure. Yeah.
To be fair, I think our largest thing has been we haven't wanted to accidentally set off the bomb.
That has been our major
I think
concern.
that's the big thing. We weren't like, let's leave it. We were like, hey,
You're like, let's not F this up.
let's not kill everyone here on accident.
On accident.
Precisely.
Sorry?
You go ahead. No, you got it.
My next question is, do I have admin access on this intranet?
Alice looks at you. Do you want it?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, easy. Watch this.
Are they falling
Dialogue
in love?
box.
Can I determine if they're falling in love?
Make
What's
a roll.
the roll?
Make
What
an
kind of roll?
insight check on a
Insight
D20.
What is that?
Wait,
Just on a
how-
D20?
D20.
What did you do before
9.
all this?
9. You cannot adequately determine whether or not Ryan is head over heels
They're
for
falling
Alice.
in love.
What did you do before this?
What I did? I was a software engineer.
But like, how did you get access to, like, did you work for the city or were you just got in on
No,
this?
I worked for the university.
Cool.
Yeah.
Why is that so revealing?
I don't know. It's cool. Okay. If I have admin access to the network, I'm pretty sure I can pop up, like, I can remote into a computer, even just like terminalize and open up a terminal window with like a chat prompt.
Blow up the bomb remotely.
Yeah.
No, but I'm gonna
He's gonna spy on the guy in the university.
not spy on.
Turn on their webcam. I'm not there,
Turn on their webcam.
but that'd be tight.
I'm there.
I mean, that's harder. I was just thinking of starting a chat window and talking to them.
Turn on their webcam.
Can I try and turn on their webcam?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't
Who's
have said
web?
that because
The
I'm
terminal
not
at the
there.
university or the terminal at the...
Yes, both.
Both.
All of the above.
One at a time.
Every
First university.
Okay.
Every webcam in
So-
the city.
First you try the university. Yes, you can turn on a webcam.
Cool.
Yep.
Sweet.
So you get there, you try to plug that in, and it's a university office. It looks just like a university office, not an administrative office, but like just a professor's office. There's some books on the shelf behind you that
What kind of books?
they're all about
Vulcan.
like biotech. So it's all like some of it's like bioengineering, and then some of it's like
Engineers. I knew it would be the engineers.
Freaking shoelick.
so yeah, so a lot of bioengineering books, and then like other like anatomy reference books, and like all kinds of sort of roughly medical looking things mixed in with
Can
the
I just
bioengineering.
shift that over, leave it open, and open up the other webcam?
Okay, so you go to open the other one, and there isn't. It's obvious to you that there's not a webcam connected to that
To the
system, but because you have admin access and you can see what devices are connected to that computer, you can also determine really quickly that there isn't that it's also legacy hardware. So it's not. It wouldn't have a webcam because it predates webcams.
Another thing I want to do is, can I see what they're doing on these computers? I want to look at like recently edited files or like recently opened programs.
Are you asking me or are you asking Alice?
You.
Brandon.
Make a roll.
Cool.
Computer program? Computer operation?
Ooh, operation. Is that even higher?
Yeah, that's way higher. Yeah, I'm good.
So I've got a 98.
I got a 98.
It's no big deal.
Don't you actually have an idea?
I do have a 98.
Do you really?
Yeah,
I do have a
gosh,
98.
that's great.
This is next step.
Yeah, and my second highest is basic mechanics.
And you're level 2.
That's beautiful.
3.
And your third highest is popular mechanics.
It's this
For
23
kids.
IQ, you know?
Okay, so sorry, tell me again what you were trying to do.
What
What has been done?
and
Like sort of
programs.
file history?
Yeah. Like, are they opening like a messaging app to each other? Are they like looking at
So
files?
you can
What language,
determine when any file was last
Motorcycles and
accessed,
snowmobiles.
but you basically it's like that information is attached to each file.
Motorcycles and snowmobiles.
So if you saw a file, you could be like, when was this file last accessed?
Sure.
But you couldn't be like, which files of all were the most recently accessed? Does that make sense?
Okay. In theory, could I write?
Could you write some software to make that search for you?
There's a thing where you
The
could.
answer is yes,
Yeah,
but it will
okay.
take some time.
I mean,
7 weeks.
in theory, there's like I could grep do a grep order by open date star, and it would just do the whole computer. It would just-
It's
Well,
7 weeks.
why are you so much smarter than me?
I mean, I just do this.
This is
for, like,
really legacy software,
43.
Ryan, sorry.
I mean, it's still probably Unix, which is
Nope, it's not.
yeah,
I think you
it's
need to top that though. And,
43.
it's Windex.
Pi.
It's Windex.
Yeah. So
Well, it could be basic. Those are the two Unix
well.
basic. But
No,
Okay, yeah,
older,
depends.
even older.
so you get to work on that, and you're going to be successful, but it's going to take a little bit to do it.
I don't mind.
So you're clicky clacking it away at that. Alice takes note of what you're doing, and it's not obvious to her what the function of your program is going to be once you start typing.
I'll shout out loud.
So she starts talking to you about
I'll
that.
shout out loud.
You guys
Like,
fall in love.
I'm doing
So-
So hey, Jimmy, what's up?
It's like this stuff's all over my head.
100% over my head. I don't know a
But
single
if you
thing.
guys know where that bomb is, we need to make a plan because it's on a timer.
I agree. What was the timer at? It's
Did
been
we not
1,000
turn
years.
off the timer?
We didn't know that. We didn't know that, did
We
we?
did.
No, I don't think we did. Now that we... What kind of timer is it on? That seems important.
Well, we don't know. We just know that there's an active. So we know that there is an active countdown,
But you can't see the actual
but it
countdown?
doesn't show us like numerals that correspond with where it is in the countdown.
That seems the scariest thing in the world.
So we suspect, or Alice suspects. I don't know anything, but Alice suspects that the terminal that was accessed near City Hall was either to activate that countdown or they were trying to stop it. We don't know which because we didn't get clued into that part of the network until just the other day. So we're still trying to figure that out.
So we need to get there. I think we need to find one of their people, and not kill them.
Also, shut your mouth.
Also, shame.
Do I know when that one computer was last opened?
Which one?
Showing
The
up-
City Hall?
one. It was showing up on the map.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So it was opened within the last 24 hours, is what you know based on the program.
We could head over there and just ask someone.
We could. Well,
Just ring the bell
Ask
at the front
really nicely.
desk and just politely.
You're right. You're right. We could, and we probably should.
Hello?
Do you have any bombs?
What's the timer at?
Have you had eyes on City Hall at all?
Just on the outside of it. I
Have you
mean,
seen anything since everything?
well, we were a little bit hunkered down because there was a bomb that went off up by the armory that we thought was
The bomb.
the bomb or connected somehow to that same.
That was me, wasn't it?
Probably. That sounds
network.
like something you would do.
And so there was like us, like the last couple of weeks have been crazy downtown. I don't know where you guys have been, but
Yeah, no, I think it was
Moving
mostly us actually.
it's been wild. So
I think that bomb was me. I'm being honest.
Yeah,
Pretty sure it was.
Ryan had a few bombs. He was dropping
I
them.
think it might have been.
I think it was thoughts and
You
prayers.
definitely drop bombs.
Yeah, classic. So
Ready to
we've been
drop
hunkering down
bombs.
here, and like one of the things that we
Bombs
noted
spaghetti.
pretty early in the whole process was that things seemed to happen in waves. Like there'd be waves of really intense zombie activity, and then it would die down for a little while. And so we just assumed that we're at the height of one of those waves of activity, and we were going to go check out
We noticed
City Hall once it died down.
We noticed like they'd rally around like a specific zombie. Like Boneclaw would come through and it would be like a horde of the zombies with him, and they'd seem more alert and more active and more. They'd be moving.
Is that true? That's true, right?
And that's what you called that thing, Boneclaw?
Yeah.
Cute. Yeah, no, that seems true to me. Like they definitely move in packs. And I don't know. I mean, there's lots of possible explanations for that, though, right? Because on the one hand, it could be that they're intentionally moving in packs. Or on the other hand, it could have something to do with they're all responding to the same stimulus. And that would look logically equivalent to them moving in packs, right? Because if they hear something, or if they smell
Right.
something, or if they see something, and we don't really... Alice and I haven't been able to uncover the degree to which any of what they know or what they respond to. It seems like they respond to sound. I think there's been some evidence to us that they respond to scent as well. Surprisingly, I think that they're actually least responsive to sight. I think that you can get away with a certain amount of movement if it's dark enough, or if you're quiet enough, as long as they can't smell you or hear you. But the smell one's tricky.
That's why they've been able to find us so easy. Shane.
Yeah, I stink.
Shower.
Okay.
Shane,
I just thought of something.
right then, you feel a bit of a shock of pain in
Oh
your
my
leg.
goodness. Okay.
And once more, your vision goes black for just a second. Just a second. And then it comes back. You're fine. Everything's fine. It's not enough to make you gasp or heave. There might not really be any outward sign to anyone else of that momentary lapse of sense. But yeah, happening again.
Hey, Jimmy, it's important to me. I mean, I want to make sure that I'm not putting everybody else here at risk, if I can help it. Can we do any blood tests or anything? Is that equipment still functional in the hospital?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a centrifuge and we have extraction materials. We've got all kinds of stuff. We take blood. I don't know. I was just a paramedic. I wouldn't know what a test would mean. I don't know how to conduct the test. I just know that the equipment's here.
Yeah.
Do you know how to run any of that?
Do I know how to run any of that? I doubt it.
Roll.
Okay.
Roll
My stat is paramedic.
Your stat is paramedic, and here's the thing. Here's why I'm making you roll. So I'm just gonna be clear on this. You're rolling because in order to get that stat, you are reading books for the last 3 months, right?
So it's just random
So
information.
a lot of it, the reason that you have a stat in that at all has less to do with the amount of experience that you have, though you had you had first aid and stuff prior to the pandemic, but it's more to do with random information that you may have come across while you were digesting medical information.
Yeah, I super don't know.
You super don't.
98.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. You shrug your shoulders. You're probably not. Yeah,
Only
it's
we had a
well,
holistic
It's
professional.
all 10 of my centrifuge books that I read.
Need some crystals.
Just hold it to your forehead.
Almost forgot the crystals.
Well, okay. Have you done any sort of... Because we experimented briefly on zombies once upon a time. I don't think we got anything useful before. We got overrun, right? Remember Zomburrito?
Yeah, we got Zomburrito.
You did have
But what did we do to...
We didn't do much.
I don't know if we got much of an
on him.
opportunity
What
to do
kind of
anything.
experimenting did we do on him?
I don't know.
The illegal kind.
I don't remember any...
No, it's very illegal.
I remember you,
Abduction.
cut his hands and jaw off. That's all I remember.
Yeah, that's because I wanted to keep him to experiment on him.
I don't think we got to.
I don't know if we got to
any.
any actual experimentation.
You did
though.
do something though. I do remember.
I was wanting to, but I don't remember how
We
far I
have
got.
read a butt ton of research
Yeah.
that other people's did on it.
Yeah,
Other
we
people-
learned a lot about what City Council or MSD were doing.
I'm just trying to figure out where I would get information. like, do you have any idea what like the signs are of somebody turning? I don't know what that would look like necessarily. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I have some idea. I was a paramedic, so I was like first responder to when things first started going down. Before they even closed the airports, we were starting to see people that were like debilitated from like high fevers, and they were basically just deteriorating health wise. So it would always start with a high fever, and then it would go to like what's the word, like fatigue, and then it would start to look pretty early like liver failure. So it looked a lot like there was like, you'd get jaundice, people would get like, you know, there's kind of a mix of symptoms, but generally it looked like liver failure, kidney failure, organs would start to kind of go, and then it would look like that. But when we ran the tests and got them back, like liver was functioning fine, kidney was functioning fine. But then, like usually not too long after that, then actual organs would start to fail, but it would usually start with the heart. So the heart would go or the lungs would go, okay. and then at that point it was just death. So I didn't see any cases where someone was alive and active and suddenly started biting and fighting people. I heard that was happening in some places. None of what I saw looked like that.
So it's inconsistent.
All the ones that I saw were people that were looking a lot like your boy Keith out there, right. and then basically died, and then or looked like they were dead.
And how quickly from the onset of symptoms until?
Man, there was like no consensus in that. And what's crazy, this is what's been really crazy, is that the timeline's been all skewed since like everything went to heck. So like it used to be like when it first started, it would be months sometimes. The first one that we know, and here's the thing, I don't know, maybe they had liver failure and we brought them in, or maybe they had some kind of other problem and then it turned into that. But the first guy that I brought in that I know for a fact turned into one of them. It was like 2 months between that happening.
It seems like it accelerated a lot.
Yeah, now it's like sometimes it's overnight. It's been crazy. We were exploring closer down to like Chinook and like that area.
Right.
And like it's wild down there. Or it was before it all started on fire. That might have been partly us. But
cool.
Well, do what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, no, but we ran into a guy down there named Jesse that he seemed fine one day, and the next day he was a whole different animal, if you get my meaning.
Yeah. I do. Can I check for a fever? Can I check for my temperature and stuff?
I
don't know.
Yeah, no, you have like a first aid kit. You've got like a thermometer.
Okay, all right. I just want to check.
You're also in a hospital.
Are you doing that discreetly, or
no? I'm just curious.
So you're just like, he's talking, you reach in your
back. I ask him that. I'm like, oh, like
he pulls out a rectal thermometer.
Yeah.
Don't mind me.
Yeah. So you take your temperature, and it's high.
It's high.
It's a bit high.
Shane.
It's a little high.
Okay.
To be clear, you feel okay.
I feel okay though.
You don't feel fatigued. You don't feel hot. Like it's not like, when you're a kid and you get a fever and you think you're gonna have a fun day staying at home from school, and then you realize that you're sick and you can't really move.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like that. You're like, this would be a fun day staying home from school. I would milk this fever for all it's worth.
Sure.
That's more what it's like.
I'm busy, so I won't tell you what to do.
Okay. Well, Jimmy looks towards Ryan and Alice and sees them clacking away on the old keyboards. And you can tell his eyes glaze over just a little bit, not in a dangerous way, but just in a bored of watching that happen way. Because obviously living with Alice, maybe that's been one of her prime activities.
Hey, Jimmy, do you know what a Raspberry Pi is?
Oh, no. He's like, yeah, I love pie.
Cool.
Jimmy's my kind of guy. He gets it.
In the meantime, I want to look out the windows, take a little glance.
Do you have pie?
No.
That's kind of rude.
It's a Raspberry Pi's a little computer. It's an inside joke.
Man. He rolls his eyes and walks out the room.
That's how I feel every time.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Jimmy comes back into the room. John, you're looking out the window. Is that what you're doing? You got your binoculars?
But I'm also keeping one eye on
Okay. So
Like
you
a
split the binoculars in
chameleon.
half
I just bend one side
and
of
just
the
twist it.
binocular.
Yeah.
Don't hurt your head so much.
Okay, so you've got a pretty good view east of the Sheldon Schumer Center. It's not a
Okay.
particularly high building. I think it's only like 5 stories, so you can't see like all of the city or anything crazy like that. Definitely not as good as your perch like at the top of the University Tower when you watch the hospital collapse. But no, you can see some stuff. You can't see too far northeast. So like from where you're at, there's enough buildings blocking your view. If what you're looking towards is City Hall, you don't really have
I mean,
eyes on
like
that.
this, just surrounding. I just want to do like
Okay.
a perimeter check.
So
make sure there's no
across the
forward-
street to the east, there's like a big park.
Yeah.
It's got like kind of a cenotaph kind of memorial or some kind of statue or something in the middle of the park, but it's a pretty wide open field.
Right.
You get the sense that might have been one of the reasons why Alice and Jimmy chose to stay here in the first place, although the network access probably had more to do with it. There is a decent amount of zombie activity outside, and they don't seem totally oblivious to the fact that your building has people in it, but they're not swarming. So they're doing that thing where they're kind of like casually shuffling around, but where it looks like there's sort of a directed movement to it and not just like moving for the sake of moving.
I'm gonna go get Ryan.
Okay, Ryan.
Ryan.
John pops his head in the room.
Yeah, John.
Hey, remember when you said you could do something about the doors to this place? Maybe we should do that first. Because
Yeah, it might be
there's
a good
some
idea.
activity outside. It's nothing crazy, but
Don't know, you guys.
I don't want to.
no, there is zombie activity.
I don't want to crash your scene
Don't
to
doubt
our
me.
to you, like to our
Jim?
our friends here. We're guests here, and I don't want to assume anything. Like, is it okay if we go fix up your doors and finish this up? Like, we're not here. We're here for as long as you want us to be here.
Maybe we should prioritize going to City Hall.
I mean, that is not a terrible idea.
If we leave, we can come back and the zombies will presumably not go into the hospital while we're gone. Do you know what I mean? If there's no people in here.
Jimmy chimes in. He says, I mean, once they sort of catch wind of you, they tend to stick around. But I go out there every week or two and just clear the ones out in the closest vicinity as quietly as I can. And then that's kind of kept them at bay. There was only one other time that we had to kind of barricade the doors downstairs where they did break through and like trash the main floor a bit. But like we just haven't barricaded up again since then because it impedes our movement in and out of the building. So.
I'm just thinking maybe we should go to City Hall like today.
So
Okay.
I'm with Shane. That's a good idea. But because the longer we wait, the more certain it is that bomb will go off. We've
Sure.
like when I say desperate, I mean we've been desperately trying to figure out the location of it, and with that exact intent. Because when we finally got access to that, or when we finally found that ping, and then we got access to that terminal that told us the active countdown, like. We've intercepted enough communication to know that it's happening, but not enough to know when it's meant to go off.
Mm-hmm.
And everything changed when City Hall went down. Because now the timeline's out the window. The organization is defunct. It's whatever you guys did deflated their steam. They don't have the personnel. They don't have... The operations are all gone. The only people that are left still operating in any capacity related to the MSC in the city are fanatics. They're not... people that can be reasoned with. They're solely bent on the destruction of the city and probably a lot more whatever the tenets of that organization are. And I don't know what their end goal would be. I don't know how it's going to enrich them, but they've been sold by their propaganda enough that they're going through with this plan in spite of the fact that everybody else associated with them is either gone or dead. We don't know.
We have Ryan, who's very technical and might be able to disarm it. Would Alice maybe know more about somehow disarming a bomb of this sort?
We don't know.
We
don't know what it looks like. We know we can't do it remotely.
There's somebody there.
They might know,
They know. We just have to
could.
make them tell us.
but they could just tell us. They could be like, "Oh, you want to disarm it? Press
You're
the
right.
big red button."
You're right. Either way, there's somebody there who knows important information, and also we
And
just need to go
also-
try.
They
He's a
might
fanatic.
be there to blow out the city. That's true.
And also,
All right, let's
They've
do
been
it.
there in the
Okay.
last 24
All right,
hours.
this is gonna be dangerous.
Let's do it.
I don't like it, but we got to do it. I think.
Cool.
Also, Jimmy, there was a big explosion at like the armory. Am I wrong? Brandon?
We actually think it was west of the armory.
Okay.
The
Do you
armory
know
itself
anything
seems
about
like
that?
it's intact. No, we haven't been up there. We just
That was the
No, there was a big explosion.
it was sort of over.
that was the MSC's armory.
No, we don't know. Well, we think that the MSC also had connections in the armory, but no, there hasn't been any active terminals there in like over 2 months.
Like the military's armory.
Because maybe
Yeah.
we take a quick pit stop,
Maybe we do.
stock up, and then go to City Hall. Because I don't know about you guys, but if they have guns and there's more than even one of them, even if there's one of them, that's a threat to us. And
Yeah,
we're not really
yeah.
equipped to get shot by bullets.
No, agreed. We
Very
need to get
much.
just everything.
So,
I don't hate that idea. Like I say, there hasn't been any active terminals, so as long as the zombie activity isn't too high.
let's just get a tank and stroll on in there.
I don't know how to drive a tank, but I
I
like
do.
your gumption.
I do.
I know how to drive motorcycles and snowmobiles exceptionally well.
That's so specific.
I mean, like
I have automobile and land navigation.
a snowmobile
combat.
has tracks like a tank, right?
That sounds like
the
a
exact same.
transferable
Potato,
skill.
potato.
I have
Yeah.
Just kidding.
combat driving.
And also,
What
what's
is a tank if it's not combat and driving? Okay?
like
Probably tank driving.
the worst thing that could happen is you like clip a car. You know what I mean? Like
You forget how to.
The worst thing that can happen for
Like-
that car, you mean?
I just mean like, what are you gonna do? It's a freaking tank. You're gonna go anywhere you want.
It's true.
I agree. We need
Let's go.
we need to go. We need to do this now. I think.
But let's go next episode because this episode is over. We're just gonna be shooting tank missiles.
Tank missiles.
Yeah, end of episode missiles.
End of episode tank missiles.
nice.
Beautiful.
That's how I roll.
Something. Follow us on Urban Decay Podcast. Send us an email at urbandecayrpg@hotmail.com.
No,
Right?
Urban Decay Podcast at hotmail.com.
Sorry, too.
Urban Decay Podcast on Facebook. Urban Decay RPG on Twitter. And is that it?
Hotmail, John? Really?
What? Who uses that?
What would
Am I
Alice
right?
think of this?
Alice would be so displeased. Although she does use it.
No, yeah, Alice would be on board
she
with
would
this. I
love
think.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it like was she just like a legacy programmer?
Alice
She's
plays
like, I get this.
Neopets. Alice plays Neopets on my
It's
That
no
is-
better.
Alice is like, you know what my favorite game is? The Oregon Trail.
Ooh, yeah. Anyways, thanks guys for listening. Take it easy out there. Commander Keen, also classic. Bye.